welcome to another update. So if we look at the recap, what I wanted to look at this week was the ranged enemy AI, tweaking the game manager, overall polishing and overall AI. So off the bat, I didn't touch the AI at all. Well, not in the sense of fixing it. I made some slight tweaks to the aggression, but not the actual fixing of it. What I did spend my time on was more polishing, specifically around if I think about somebody new playing the game who has no idea what it is or what to do. I need to make it as simple as possible for someone like that to understand it and get into it. So that is kind of the player-led, or leading the player to play it. That's what I was working on. So to show that, I'll actually dive into a build that I made, just to show it a bit better. So first thing I'll notice here is at the bottom we've got the choose your warrior with keyboard keys, and then if you select a warrior, then all of this comes up. Some information about them, their abilities, if there's a super or anything extra, and then on the right we have all the controls. Now one extra one you'll see there is interportal. We'll get to that in a moment. If you switch characters, it changes. If you start playing with them, it changes to this. A bit of information how to do a combo, and then HUD legend. So yeah, and then if you get close enough or far enough into the level, it all goes nicely away. If you go back, it comes back. So this is all just very nice to kind of lead the player and help them along. Now, just doing all of these things, getting all the events firing when I wanted them to, it took a really long time. I think I was busy with this up to Thursday, maybe even bits of it on Friday. So yeah, that took a long time, but I'm happy with it. I think somebody new picking it up will immediately, or not immediately, but they'll be able to follow the prompts and see what to do. So if we look at more fixes, so if we look at so this character, you can't jump. So I've always wanted to put in portals to help them traverse, and there's another change that you'll see. Those white dots, a radar that comes up. So I don't know why they're so blurry. I think that's part of export settings. I'll obviously have to look at that, but the radar is kind of working. It's tracking the enemies, but the arrow isn't pointing the right way. And if we look at the portals, so this character can get to the top now, no problem. Look a bit on the other side. So yeah, this character specifically and Puro, they don't really have. Puro has a jump, but it's not very high. But now, that's great. I think the knockback is super hard with this guy. Anyway, so yeah, a lot of tweaks. One thing I did put in as well is there was a bit of an issue with some the characters, when they die, they just go off the level. Now, if we look at the actual new build, I did a complete fix for that. So rather than how I previously did it was when the character or enemy dies, they just immediately disable all of their collisions. So what I've done now is actually I have a notification. So if we look at the death, there's a notification to say, okay, I'm finished dying. And once that fires off, it just firstly disables gravity on all of the necessary components, and then disables collision. So they stay in place nicely now. And then the game manager, I've started making it so it only spawns once you've entered the arena, and I've put in place the timers and everything that I have. So if we look at a sample, you also see a bit of dust around. Don't know if it's visible. I added that just to give it a bit of a life to the level. Dust is all around. So now you see in the top left there's 3 values that I have there. So that's the health rate for an enemy, the damage rate, and the spawn rate. So currently every 20 seconds it will spawn an enemy. It'll spawn, the health is 1, which means 100% health, and damage is 100%. And I've made it now every 30 seconds it changes. So the next enemy that spawns will be 110% health, 120% damage, and 19 seconds spawn. So the spawn gets faster, the enemies get stronger. Okay, this guy doesn't, so yeah, his health is still super low. And the teleporters are very nice for, so they stay nice in place. So yeah, they get progressively stronger. Not that they're attacking at the moment, but they do have more health, and spawning will be quicker. So yeah, the game manager is pretty much in place. I'll also have to start tweaking the values more to see what works. Alright, so just future image here. One thing I forgot to mention was the following. Once you die, I've updated now to show survival time and enemies killed. Right, more to see what works. So that pretty much covers everything that I've updated. So as it stands, I think the game is in good standing. I should be able to make a build even. So the character didn't disappear. They don't have, oh they did, they are in there. Little piece sticking out. I'll have to look at this is like an edge case, edge between 2 platforms. Oh well, stuff like that's gonna happen. So yeah, I think the game is in a good standing for me to make a build. I'm not going to just yet. There is a bug in here which I think I know where it comes from. So Genjiro, he was my guinea pig for implementing the Ninja Live fog components, and as you can see it's missing. So I messed that up completely. And what also happens now is he's considered much larger than he is. So enemies, if he sees me, he wants to attack from there. He thinks it's right next to me. So that's a bit of a bug. What I'll have to do is, I think I'm just going to recreate Chikara from scratch. I don't think it'll be too difficult or too much work, but I'll definitely have to do it. Something else I need to do is the menu. So under other, I don't have themes or languages yet. So just for now, I'm gonna remove this other, and the controls. I also don't want to use it, or I haven't implemented remappable controls as of yet, and also haven't implemented the gamepad. So these two menu options I want to hide to make the build. I'll obviously do this at a later stage, but for now I don't want to have this in here because it's not going to have any effect. And then I want to also fix the radar direction, and then maybe start adding music and sound effects. I think that's a good set of points that I want to address in the next week. Overall, tweaking the game manager and the AI aggression will carry on as I develop the game, but I actually want to commit to next weekend, have a build that I can submit for Playtopia and at the same time for Steam review. Yeah, thank you for joining me. I'll see you again next week.